Welcome back, everybody. We've been haying. I got to get my fuel wagon going. We're going to cut a little bit more today. That's what's happening on Ranching Sodak. Definitely not ideal haying weather when you're into August like this, but we're not complaining. We're going to take what we can get. As you can see in the background in the haze, we are blessed with smoke again. So if it's not cloudy or raining, it's smoky. That's been the whole deal of the summer. But I need fuel for that cutter. We've got it moved up north. Ooh, rabbit attack. Ooh, you're too slow. I got you $1. All right, I got to get this tank. I'm a real hodgepodger. I've had this tank for a while. I don't have a pump anymore. It went bad. So I take my generator and I got a 110 pump, but right now my generator won't start. So we got to work on that first. It's a whole progression of stupidity that's got to happen here at the beginning of this video. What the heck are you even doing? It's taking a bolt off that did nothing, or maybe it was the whole part of the engine mount. I didn't need to take it off. Well, first things first, I got to check the oil and see if that's just why it won't start. If it's got like a safety oil switch, we'll see. It won't start. I'm gonna dump all this gas on the ground. Last time I did that, I got in trouble. I dumped a little bit of my chainsaw gas. You guys all freaked out. Fast, effective relief. So I put some gas in there, but I kind of might have, I have not pulled it yet, but I kind of might have think I found the problem. See that cable? You're supposed to go to here to choke to start it. It's not getting fully over to choke. Something's wonky with the cable. So I'm hoping, because I got this thing cranked now and it needs to be over there. I'm hoping that I was just pulling it and it wasn't getting choked. Anyways, we put more oil in it and a bunch of sea foam. That's full choke right there. Doesn't want to stay running yet. Well, I think what we need to do is I need to take this cover off here. We need to investigate this cable and see why it's loose. Really got a lot of slack in there. Let me dig into that. Burn right along. All I did is tighten this up right here. I couldn't find any problems up in here. I just needed to be tightened up. My base and this carrying case is about ready to fall off. I mean, the motor's about ready to fall through the bottom. So I'm gonna let this thing run for a minute and let some of that sea foam get into the carburetor. But I think we gotta put a board underneath that and try to mount that, fix it. Oh, I found some of this. It's basically just an angle off of a shelving deal. But anyways, I took one off. I'm gonna make these little L brackets for this. I'm gonna hook it to this board. And then once the engine is to the board, we'll just have to somehow either put a ratchet strap around this whole thing that should just live with it or what. But there was literally no bottom left on this thing. It was just about ready to fall through the bottom. And I don't care what you guys say, that turned out pretty nice. I only got 3 of them because this one up in the front, there's a little more action right there with some plastic. So it's gonna just be three mounting points. I just got to decide how to get this plastic back down on here. Either, like I say, we got to put some type of strap around the whole thing underneath this handle to hold the handle to the board. Now the engine's not going to fall out, but we still got to get this thing attached to the board. Stand by to stand by. Here's the key to this project's success, I believe. I don't like that. Where your hands got to go. I'll give you a St. Bernard update. She's still blind, but she started walking again. We've had her on pain pills and a steroid pill twice a day for a little over a week now, and she come out of it. So good thing you guys didn't shoot her that day when she was dragging her back leg. Anyway, here's the next step to the project. We got to get the fuel tank loaded up into that pickup, and then I have a pump that I mount on the top of here. I'll show you what that is in a second. Chain or something here. I'm gonna lower it down. You guys watch it, make sure it doesn't hit the box or anything. You guys were supposed to watch that. We'll be all right. Here's my homemade pump. I use it to pump oil in the winter time at people's place if they don't have them in totes, or if I got to transfer totes. This is a gear pump off of a tractor. I don't know. This was in a farm sale auction box one day for nothing. I got it hooked to this motor. I made a little flexible deal for the belt to stay tight. I'm gonna bolt it down to this thing. I think it goes right like that. Okay, there's a hole there. There's a hole there. And then I have a short suction hose that I just stick in this hole when I get to the field and then power it with the generator. And then it's got a filter that'll go on here. I can take this off and put my filter head on. All right, let's take her over to the shop. Well, I got her all mounted up here, but when I went to go test it, I was gonna suck a little bit of this out and rinse my hoses. I had flipped these around unknowingly last winter when I was pumping oil at a guy's place, because that hose had a hole in it and that was my pump hose, so I turned it to the suck hose. So I was confused over there trying to figure out why it wouldn't work, but now I've got it switched around. Sassy Pants is out here too. Anyways, let's put this is the hose that came off of that fuel barrel where we put the 50-foot reel, so that'll work out good. This hose is still good. That one's had a little leak in it. So okay, stretch her out there and we'll screw this one on. You don't want to put Teflon on here because you just don't want to. We're going tighter now, just a little bit. Keep going, keep going. So I got this thing in the pickup tipped ahead, so when we're actually in the field, if there is sediment, it'll go to the front. But what I want to try now is I went down in this ditch, so everything's back here. I'm going to pump out what I have in here to kind of clean out the filter, clean out these hoses and the such like. We'll capture it and put it in the boiler so we can heat our house for maybe about, no, it'll heat it for probably 12 hours, a 5-gallon bucket.
You think you have that much in there?
So here, come look at this. I put some holes in the bottom, so I always suck like an inch off the bottom or an inch and a half off the bottom. But I don't know if my filter is plugged. I need a new filter. Also, I got the poles higher up. Well, just like that, lickety split, a couple 3 hours later, we're ready to go. Oh, at least I got that generator to work. That's what I was lying awake morning thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna get that generator to work, but that would turned out to be the easy part. When we get up there, I'll give you a little pumpkin update too on that little food plot, because we're parked right next to that. I think what I'm gonna do is just cut around the field like 4 times, like do what they'd call the headlands, get it opened up, and then I think we better quit because they're talking rain on Thursday. That's only gonna give us 3 days, and the hay's awful heavy, so plus we got another 50 acres down in front of this, so I don't want to get too much ahead of myself. Let's go check out the pumpkins first, huh? Pumpkins or pumpkins? I think it's pumpkins there, bud. The miscanthus we should have probably sprayed for the thistles, but they're getting pretty tall. They're waist high, the plants, so I kind of feel like we're gonna be okay. That's these guys right here. They all started to come. It took a while, but see here we got a whole bunch hand planted ones. And like this one here it's already almost to my chest if I pull it up. And then it looks like it's already shot a rhizome off. So this was the main one. Here's the secondary one coming off. So they're already starting to branch out. Same with this one, you know, it was 1, 2, 3. Now it's got 3 of them coming out. What they said about that miscanthus is it's supposed to start every year. It'll kind of fill in and cluster up. So this whole thing should become a big 12-foot wall over time. Mainly thistles is what came after this, but the sorghum showed up. This was kind of bad because we dissed it, you know, and then planted right into it. But here, I'll show you the pumpkins didn't really come through the drill until we got going, but here's the first one. They're getting a little size to them. I have no idea when they start blossoming. Looks like there's something right there gonna start. I mean, I still think we got a half a chance of maybe even getting one this fall. But yeah, they're here. This one's not as big, but it's got a little flowery thing starting there. And then there was the peas. Like these are the peas. I bet you we'll get, I bet you in a couple weeks we'll be able to walk through here and get a handful of snap peas to eat. The deer don't get them. Anyways, back to reality. I didn't have it at home was an extension cord, but I do because then I can stay close to the snozzle here, plug her in and unplug. I definitely think my filter is plugged. All right, let's ride, huh? around one time to show you these windrows. It's just a tremendous amount of grass out here. Pretty wet too. There's a lot of spots I couldn't go through that there was water in the way. You guys didn't see much of that, but I went around that thing 4 times. This weather is, today is Monday and they're talking Thursday now in the morning, like an inch of rain. With what I've got cut on Saturday afternoon and Sunday, and then this today, I think I better quit. I better quit cutting. Otherwise we're gonna get caught again with a mess. So let's head her home. See if those scale bars showed up. We could look at that maybe, or just do some carpenter work. Or maybe look at the rake and the baler, I'm not sure. Well, I think the scale showed up. I think that's what that is. Maybe something else too, or no? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Prime USA scale, that's what that is. Maybe what we should do is, see, Sassy Pants is gonna be leaving here in a couple hours. Maybe what we should do is have her give us a ride over to the skid steer, get the skid steer here, go get a load of gravel. I want to get finish up on the back side of that cement, get that water line ran underneath that cement, and then haul some gravel in there before we set the chute in there, because I won't be able to get the skid steer in after we put the chute in there. I gotta get the binos and see. Looks like a lot of cattle in one spot, unless they're just all along that fence. Interesting. I looked at that with the binos. I guess I can just start to see my calves now. They're getting big enough that they're showing up from a mile away. She's gone for a minute over the neighbors, so let's go get a load of gravel. And then when we get back, she'll be back. She can give us a ride over that skid steer, get it home. Hello? We talked about this before, but it lets the fuel back somehow. Some of the truckers commented. Sometimes I pump that primer down in there by the engine, but I might have to look into that a little bit more. It's obviously leaking back somehow. You guys want to listen to this buzzer for a while? Still rocking the straight pipes, but I got a muffler for my ears. Does this look familiar to you? Hey! I was here before that guy. I guess he's a little closer to the payloader. Well, they got a little stockpile today. That's all going to the wash plant, and they got another pile here about as big for us to just get crushed. The other day I came, they were hand to mouth. They had her shut down, and they couldn't even keep the wash plant going because they were behind. Well, my steer tire is staying up. I don't know if the bead was just leaking or what the deal was, but we greased it all up, you know, to get it on, and whoosh, that's loud, bud. That's custom T-post hanger. Here he comes. Easy on the old girl. What are we weighing today? Oh, it didn't even break 50,000. 49,220. I think I'll leave it out here, kind of make it look like I'm a big time operator. There's a lot of stuff going on, you know, kind of spread the equipment out. Oh yeah, big time. Let's go get a skid steer, guys. I think the heat's getting to me. I had a couple of comments that this was not a cucumber, and I think they're right. I don't know what it is, but it's getting bigger. It could be a watermelon. You tell me. I think it is a watermelon. I don't know, and what should I do? Should I, so it's coming off of this vine right here. Should I snip these buds off so they keep pumping all their stuff to this spot? And then should I water it some more? It's gonna rain a couple days, but I don't know how much water it needs. Might be the only one we get too. That's all I see coming so far. But I think that is a watermelon. Nice! I gotta put this PEX line in my conduit or PVC pipe and get it from that wall to this wall. Once that's done, then I can level this gravel off with there and then bring a couple of scoops in. So let's get some PEX equipment. We'll dig a little trench along here. That hurts my hand. I should have some leather gloves. I wonder if I went to ranchingsodak.com and bought myself some. Or wait, epic time lapse. I got sweeps there. I'm not sure if I can bend that 3/4 inch PEX through those sweeps. I'm getting her laid out here, and then at the chute where it kind of has a funny angle, it goes this way and then it needs to go back. I'm gonna take the torch and see if I can't warm that up and bend that around. And then as I look at this, I'm debating if I should put something over the top of this, either on the concrete or maybe onto both, a piece of steel plate, real thin steel. This tire mat of Dane's is going to flop over anyway, but it can't come all the way and touch the chute because the chute's going to be on a scale, so we'll have to get that figured out, the length of that. Either have to cut some off or, yeah, probably cut some off, see where it ends up. But anyway, it wouldn't be hard to put something over this to cover that. You're in a piece of pipe and you're in a PEX. Chances of anything stepping down in that little crack and hurting anything, I think I'll look for some garbage. All right, let's warm this up and see what happens. See if this is gonna work. Oh, I think it will. Nice. Nice! I didn't glue the end ones, but I glued them couplers and I got it ran through there. Looks good. What will happen is I'll just come up, I maybe will put a short chunk of the conduit around it until we get up to here. I'll drill this little purlin out. This shouldn't have been all the way down. They were supposed to be left like this one so I could run wires and stuff back, but for some reason this one's long. So anyway, we'll get it up here and we'll just put a 90 on it and we'll just send it along here. It's going to come up with the power right there. And somebody said, oh, running your power and your water in the same trench seems a little sketchy. What I'll do is use the backhoe and then I'll just put the power on one side of the trench and the water on the other side of the trench for the most part. So if you ever have any trouble, then I'll just write down in here that, hey, power is on the east side of the trench or the west side of the trench and the water's on whatever. That's what I'll do. But obviously if you have a leak or a problem, when you dig it up, you'll have to be careful. But running them in the same trench is not dangerous, I guess. The power is going to be in its own conduit. This water line will be empty most of the time unless we're out here using it. Then I'm just going to hook it up to the hydrant. But let's get this sleeve on here and then we'll clean up. And then I should be able to bring some gravel in and get ready. We'll bring the scale stuff out here, but I don't think I'll put any of that on this video. I think I'll do a fresh video of unboxing all that, setting it up and mounting it. So we'll get it out here though. Maybe we'll peek in the boxes. Nice. Well, I got that all cleaned up. Let's get in the old skidder and let's fill this in first and get this leveled out good. Not level, but smoothed out, and add some to it. And then we're going to bring in, and I have a lot of junk in the way back there, but I'm still just going to have to dump a couple of scoops on each side because it's settled a little bit along the poles. Once we get this cleaned out, then we'll have to shovel this all in and kind of fill in up against the wall. Same over here. You know, it needs to be raised up a few inches all the way back. I got the lumber there for the room. I'm just gonna have to dump 2 piles, 2 scoops right there. And we'll just have to be some hand work later on. Wow, Matt. Should probably go into the landscaping business. Let's go grab that scale and bring it out here. Then I think I'm gonna wrap her up. Ellie just pulled in, so I gotta go hang out with her. Come on, let's go up in the house. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. Starting to thunder and lightning, thunder, I guess. And I guess I didn't see no lightning, but there's a little cluster there. She don't like the thunder. I don't think it's gonna rain though. It's just a tiny little cell, and I think if it is, it's gonna go south of us. But it was not forecasted at all. Then as soon as I hear it grumbling, I looked at my phone. It's like, yeah, it's gonna rain. Come on, big girl. Anyways, let's tuck her in the house and go see Ellie. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the scale. That's gonna be the next one. I'm gonna put that sucker in, get that chute back in there so we can start working some calves. All right, thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. Peace.